All right, guys. So listen, I am live. Come on in the room, share this video, and I just want to share something really quick with you all. Something really, really quick. Um, you guys want to hear this, and I just want to make sure you all are aware because you all, most of you know, I have my own business and I do taxes, and we help many of you, whether it's here on social media or some of you are my client or whatever. But I just have a quick update. I just need to share with you. So listen to what I'm about to say. Okay. Um, and this is crazy. This is serious. Tell you, like, trust me, you need to know this. You need to know this. Um, the question is, are you ready for taxes? Are you ready to file your taxes? Now, if you are a W-2 business and you have, if you are a W-2 employee, sorry, if you are a W-2 employee, I'm thinking about business, your taxes are rather easy, and many times people say, well, I want to get the most out of this tax, whatever, my taxes, can I get a large refund? Taxes doesn't, I mean, it does not work that way. If you work a job, if you have a W-2, this is not to put down W-2s, but if you want to save money in taxes, is really, like, any professional, any strategist out here will tell you, you can't really save money in taxes when you're a W-2. There's not many loopholes that you can, like, when you call it loopholes, not much you can do. So how do you get a refund, a large refund, if you have a W-2? You have to pay a lot of money in taxes. I've seen it where people that make six figures, for example, 100,000, and typically if you make 100,000, give or take, your tax bill probably about 10, 15,000, possibly, and depending on what state you're in, like the state of Maryland, it's a lot of. I mean, you're paying almost 20,000 in taxes. I mean, if you pay anything less, you're probably not paying enough, and then you're paying health insurance, paying a lot of other stuff. So W-2, you're paying a lot of money in taxes. The other part is, so if you have a business, many people are 1099s, 1099K, 1099 NEC. NEC stands for non-employee compensation. So 1099, and the IRS right now is increasing their audits. And I'm trying to tell my clients, I'm trying to let you all know, anybody that come to me to do their taxes, I'm like, are you ready to get your taxes done? And you give me your bank statements, you're not ready. You're not ready to get your taxes done. You give me receipts, you're not ready to get your taxes done. I'm telling you in the real, because the thing is, I don't know how many people are saying this. Like professionals out there, I don't know how many are really saying this to people. But if you're giving me receipts and you're like, here's my receipt that shows what I spent. Listen, the IRS, I've helped people through audits, several audits, like IRS audit, the state of Maryland audit. They don't want a receipt only. Okay. They'll take the receipt, but they don't want that only. I'm going to share something with you. What's happening right now? Gun touting wing of IRS wants to put the fear of God in people. And this is coming from an ex-agent. So the IRS, they're increasing their audits. And this person, the IRS, former IRS special agent, Robert, in a wide-ranging interview published on February 20th, that while most Americans have a sense of what IRS tax audits look like, the work of the IRS Criminal Investigation Unit is shrouded in some mystery. So they have a whole nother unit, the IRS Criminal Investigation Unit. I don't think that you all want to mess with that. Why? Because these people are carrying guns. They're carrying guns. They examine potential criminal activity related to tax crimes and make recommendations for prosecution to the tax division of the Department of Justice. So the Department of Justice, when you go to their website, you can find where people are sentenced to jail over taxes. Army of 87,000 tax enforcers. This new tax enforcement agent surged into the spotlight and became an internet meme after Republicans warned that the $80 billion in new IRS funding under the Inflation Reduction Act will squeeze ordinary Americans for every last penny. 87,000 more IRS enforcers will make the IRS bigger than the Pentagon, the State Department, the Border Patrol, all combined. Okay, so when you invest that much money into the IRS, $80 billion, what are you expecting them to do? They're going to do more audits. So if you come with your statements, your bank statements, I'm just letting you know the IRS will reject your tax file if they audit you. They will reject every deduction, everything, if you come with your your bank statements. And I've seen the wording. They will write in their wording to you that they're not your accountant. They are not your accountant. So what do you need to do? You need to download some form of QuickBooks. Some of you may not even know what QuickBooks is, but I'm trying to tell you, you don't want to mess with the IRS. If you're not using QuickBooks, and this is not like, oh, he just getting a sales pitch with QuickBooks, because that's not it. The IRS asks for your username and password to QuickBooks. So if they're asking you that, what do you think they're asking for? They want to know, are you using QuickBooks? Are you using some form of, because in their hundreds of publications, one of their requirements is that you're tracking what's coming in and going out of your account. So I'm going to share this tab with you really, really quick. So QuickBooks, if you've never seen it, you need to download this before you start getting your taxes done. We are done with the 2005, 2010, 2015, even 2015. That's, I mean, you should be updated by then. But at this point, 2023, we're dealing with people that are looking for you to be using QuickBooks. So this is super easy. What are you doing? You're connecting your bank account to QuickBooks. I don't care if you use Wave. I don't care what software you use. Use whatever you need to get yourself in compliance with the IRS and prepare for your taxes. And so when you connect your account here, what happens is those transactions download from your bank account straight into QuickBooks. So when I helped my client through an audit, this is what I did. We already categorized transactions. When we categorize transactions, it shows up on the bank register. Okay, so there is a bank register. Now I'm going to go through this super quick because I'm not trying to teach you how to use QuickBooks perhaps, but I need you to at least have some sense of what we use to prepare your taxes. So your profit and loss report, many of you heard of a P&L. Many of you like, like I need a P&L, whatever. So this profit and loss report is a direct reflection of what is reported on your taxes. So the income, the expenses. So whenever you're trying to figure out what can I write off of my taxes, it should be right here when you have a business. Even if you're driving for DoorDash, even if you're, you might say, do I really need it for DoorDash? I would say it wouldn't hurt, because if you're using your personal account, and let me see if I can add this. I don't know if you saw this, but this is the profit and loss report, just in case many of you didn't see it. But I just want to make sure you got it. So this is the profit and loss report, and this is coming from QuickBooks, okay? Also the bank account. So the bank account is here as well. So the bank account transactions are downloaded into QuickBooks, and this is where we categorize. The IRS expects you to categorize transactions. If you're not categorizing, you're not doing proper bookkeeping, okay? So with that in mind, if you don't have that and you give me your bank statement, you're not ready to file taxes. You're just not ready to file your taxes. Because what if they come at, looking at your tax forms, and I already showed you that these are people that are investigating criminals. What if your tax documents, you can't support your expenditures because you don't have a profit and loss report? And yes, if you're driving for DoorDash, for crying out loud, set up a separate account. I mean, don't put it with your personal finances. If you're driving for DoorDash, Uber, whatever those companies are, if you're driving or doing any side hustle, whatever you're doing to make money on the side, put that money in a separate bank account. What kind of account? A separate one. If you don't have a formalized business, just set up another bank account somewhere that is separate from your personal transactions. So that way you got expenses that need to be paid, pay it out of that separate account. So the IRS can see that you have a clean, that you keeping clean records. We've been doing this for over 20 years. I've been doing this far long, and I've seen a lot of changes happen. But I definitely invite you to get ready for taxes. Get ready. Don't think that your bank statements are enough. That's not enough. And don't think that your tax person should just be putting stuff on your taxes and you don't even know what they're putting on it. You're signing it under perjury. Okay. Make sure you're ready for an audit. If you're not ready for an audit, the sign being ready for an audit, you're using QuickBooks. I'm ready for an audit. If you're not ready for an audit, I would rather you wait to file your taxes and say, let me get this prepared before I submit. Okay. So listen, keep following us. You got my website. Check in with us if you need some help. You need to talk to someone. We can indeed give you some advice. But I say get your stuff in order, prepare for taxes. Don't just go to your tax person and say, here are my receipts, here are my bank statements. You're doing yourself a disjustice as well as the tax professional, because we could go to jail because we're putting stuff on your taxes that were not deemed deductions and they weren't recorded properly. So I'm not going to jail for anybody, but you guys, you understand what I mean? So listen, enjoy the rest of your day. Just a quick tip, and hope that you'll